Good evening, everyone. So the topic for today is media trial versus the fair trial. My views are similar to Kanak and Anushka. To throw light on this, I would like to give a fun example. When we go into a fun house of mirrors, to some of the carnivals, there is a reflection where we look very fat sometimes or abstractly thin, and in other, our neck is elongated or something. So media nowadays acts like that. Like in the recent, it's a recent trend of the media trial which has emerged in the 20th century. The media distort the facts and portrays a story or event in such a manner which has less resemblance to the actual facts of the incident. With the recent case of Sushant Singh Rajput suicide, which is deemed to be a murder, the media have pierced into the personal life of the main accused, which has kicked open a fresh debate on the issue of the media trial. Every aspect of the accused personal life and character, which might not have any relevance to the legal investigation of the suicide deemed murder case, is brought to the public lens of scrutiny via the media. The ethics of journalism have been again into a controversial area due to the preying eyes on their accused. The strength and the importance of media in democracy is well recognized. Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution, which gives us the freedom of speech and expression, includes within its ambit the freedom of press. Media is regarded as one of the four pillars of democracy. The existence of a free, independent, and powerful media is the cornerstone of democracy. Media plays a very vital role in molding the opinion of the society, and it is capable of changing the whole viewpoint through which the people perceive various events. Media freedom also entails a certain degree of responsibility as an instrumental to build various opinions on regional topics or national level topics or even international agenda. With a tech savvy world today and its high exposure to the distorted information, media's responsibility has increased a lot since it has the power to influence a highly mixed society like India. Media acts as the fourth leg to the unstable three legged system: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. It plays the vital role as a conscious keeper, a watchdog on the functionaries of the society. And it attempts that any wrong that is happening to this system to bring to the knowledge and hoping for the correction. However, in the increasing competitive market, to grab the attention of the viewers and keeping the how to attract the viewers, they sensationalize certain facts, they distort certain facts to attract those readers. The pursuit of the commercial interest also motivates the use of some articles which are not at all like properly researched, and also leads to invasion of privacy of those particular accused whose life is being covered for that particular issue. The problem finds the worst manifestation when the media extensively covers some sub judice matters by publishing information and opinions which are clearly prejudicial to the interest of the parties involved in the litigation which is pending before the courts. These news stories, which are circulated by the media, have steadily interrupted the guarantee of right to fair trial and have posed the threat to the presumption of innocence. What is more, that the persuasive influence of the press is increasingly proving to be detrimental to the impartial decision of the judiciary. As we can take the case of Arushi Talwar case, where media have preempted the court and reported, which is not very much well researched, that her own father and also her mother was involved in the murder, whereas later on CBI have declared that her father was actually not the murderer. Every institution is liable to abuse its liberty. But if it is left unchecked for a long time, it can lead to disorder. This is the threshold that we are standing today. Television channels, to increase their TRP, they are sensationalizing the events, and they are not presenting a very well investigated facts. So the trial by the media is the impact of television and newspaper coverage on a person's reputation by creating a widespread reputation of guilt, regardless of whatever verdict the court later on may present. During high publicity court cases, the media often accused of provoking an atmosphere in the public, which not only makes the fair trial impossible, but all means that regardless of the result of whatever the trial, whatever the result comes out, the accused will not for the rest of the lives, he cannot get back his social reputation. As Kanak was earlier saying that the woman character is being assassinated, I would also like to bring into attention the case of August 2015, a Facebook post by Jaslyn Kaur, a student in Delhi, which went viral. She said that a man has abused her with obscene comments in a traffic signal, and later on in the media trial, he was called pervert by various TV news channels. But later on, after a prolonged delay of justice, this man was found not guilty. But there was no media coverage of the same, and he's still struggling to get his social image back. The freedom enjoyed by the press is not separate from the freedom of speech of the citizens. That should be kept in mind. It is the same freedom of expression that is conferred to all the citizens under Article 19 of the Constitution. And hence, the provision of reasonable restriction in Article 19.2, which also implies to the press. The press is restricted from publishing or communicating anything which affects the interest of sovereignty or integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relation with the foreign states, public order, decency and morality, or in relation to the contempt of the court or defamation. It comprises several other rights, like right to be presumed innocent, or the guilty is to be proved beyond reasonable doubt, and also like not hampering the witness's reputation, and many other such rights. Needless to say that the right of fair trial is important as it is an absolute right which flows from Article 21 of the Constitution, and also as along with if we read Article 14. If the media exceeds its right by publications that are recognized as prejudicial to accused, like concerning the character of the accused, or publication of some confessions, or commenting on the case, or showing photographs which are not well researched, or commenting on the police activities, etc., this might lead to something which will not lead to a fair trial. So, and it will also lead to the contempt of the court. So there are provisions which are safeguarding this right in Articles 129 and 215. Further, just as a person possesses the right of freedom of speech and expression, every person also possesses a right of his own reputation. The reputation which is one's own property, which is a part of Article 21. Hence, nobody can use his freedom of speech and expression to hamper someone else's reputation. With the view of this discussed facts today, the question is, what should be more important? Free trial, like free press, which is largely uncensored and unchecked and highly irresponsible, or an individual's right to privacy, dignity, and free trial? The question is open.